What's up, guys? Welcome back to the rundown for another episode of The Last of Us Season 2 and Andor Season 2. There we go. We're going to be covering episode 3 of Last of Us and episode 4, 5, 6 of Andor in the rundown today. How are you, Anthony? Thanks for being here. You're very incognito with your hat today. I seen with your name there, I see nothing. I'm
It's the
talking to a
same
hat.
as usual. Well, okay. So I had like a posing interview with Brian Carr, and I switched my cameras for that one. So now I just quickly switched them back after coming back from the Thunderbolts. So it's a bit off. Sorry.
No, you're good. It's a good hat. It's a good hat and a good story
My
to go with it.
cousin Helen.
Your cousin Helen. Oh, mate.
Stuck in limbo for like 2 or 3 months, and then Neil saved it. So that's a story.
That's crazy. Good old Neil. You could do a film on him. I'll just quickly bring up AJ. So he says, "Hey friends, quickly stop by, say hi, and then run. But just wanted to say I'm looking forward to the fantastic discussions." Now, I spoke with AJ yesterday in our hangout for Pose and Chill, and we had a good catch up. So he did tell me he was going to try and just stop by and say hello, but he's been busy. And I get it. We do our show in most places, it's a Saturday night. Yeah. So we get it. It just happens to be the only time that works for us when we push it with sleep-wise. AJ, brother, bro.
Oh, dude.
Hawkeye strikes again. The best recap show there is. Take care, guys. Thank you, brother. You're too kind. Way too kind. Bloody hell. You're too generous, bro. And look, me and him were talking yesterday about a top 10 list. And I think I got him intrigued because the next video I'm going to make, I've met a gentleman here who bought a figure off me named Dean. And he talked to me about making a top 10 list. He goes, you should make a top 10 list. Now Dean I think he's a pretty big time collector from the pictures I've seen. He's got like 140 figs. So shout out to Dean. But he's like, you should do a top 10 list and like nail it down. And I'm like, damn, it got me thinking. So I'm actually going to make a video on it, film the figures. I'm going to do my top 10 in my collection. But me and AJ were talking yesterday about how would you rank it? And I'm like, all right, I could rank it. Like for me, it's going to be time spent with the figure. So because I pose and do photography and stuff with them, that's going to be a factor for me because some figures have had way more fun, like President Loki and things like that. So I'm like, that's going to be really tough to do. But I'm looking forward to it. So if you're a hot toy collector, folks, if any of you, I'm pretty sure everybody collects who watches this, or at least close to it.
Yeah, probably.
There's.
If you're not, why are you here? If you're not, start collecting.
Start collecting.
You know,
see these things. Get into it. Be an addict like us. Anyway, it got me thinking, and we had a good talk about it yesterday. So shout out AJ. And I'm going to make that video. I'm going to finish the Dune video finally by Tuesday, I reckon, if hopefully sooner. Get that out, and I'm filming the top 10.
Beast camera, right?
With the Beast camera. Yeah, we'll see. This is the Beast. This is just the 70 mil, and like she comes out like that to get 200.
Like, bro, this is just the 70 mil.
Yeah, 70 to 200. Yeah, so this is 70. This is 200. But I pretty much went back and reshot the whole Dune video.
Oh wow!
Like I had started filming it on the phone. I kept some of the scenes from the phone to put in it because I'm like, I don't want to go back and try and do that damn pose again. So I was like, all right, I'll just shoot everything else brand new. So that's why it's taken me so long to do this Dune video. And at the minute, it's like 27 minutes. I ain't getting anything for it because I've put scenes from the movie in there because I'm like putting scenes from the movie and then cutting to my thing. But I don't care. It's going to be an artistic Dune video, hopefully.
Dude, I had the same feeling when I went through the Star Wars footage that I had for the big Star Wars project that I announced 1.5 or 2 years ago. But seeing the footage, dude, I thought there's so much work's going into that. I need to continue that.
You should. I want to see it. I want to see something artistic. Like I'm getting into. I'm thinking about like doing this top 10 in a really different way because like some of the figures in the top 10 are like I've got 2 of. So I'm like, how can I showcase them while I talk about why I like them?
Oh yeah.
And like how can I put them to kind of like I've done in some other videos, like putting them together, maybe one in a dynamic or one stoic or I don't know. So I'm like, okay, let's think about some other ways I can narrow down why it's a top 10 to me.
Dude,
but it's definitely not easy, bro.
Today. I was even thinking about doing like a rundown after show. Call it the rundown after pose. So
Hmm.
that I take one iconic slide. It could be Skeen and Andor. It could be anything. Just one iconic slide from the show and pose it
Yeah.
with different figures. Just to see if
You definitely would do Skin and Endor. That was the first one that came to your mind. I would imagine the goblin's face. You use the goblin so you get his that facial expression.
dude, that would be horrific. That's
And
nightmare
Batman.
fuel, dude. That's nightmare fuel.
Oh shit. We're off the rails again.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lakagi for being in the chat.
Yo,
Uh,
look again.
so Grona, 10 my friends. I don't know if I said that right. I finally defeated daylight savings and I'm on time. Also happy May the 4th. Oh yeah, it's May the 4th for some of you guys.
Oh yeah, it's in 17 minutes. It's May the 4th over here.
Yeah. So May the 5th for me.
Dude.
But yeah, happy May 4th to you guys.
May the 6th,
So
you mean?
yeah, May the 6th. Thanks for being here as well, Akagi. We've got a few more people here live today. Okay, we're ready to go. We might as well get into it because we don't. We're our restrictions. So we'll start with Last of Us. Like I said to Anthony before, a few less slides this week, and we're probably going to breeze through this one a little bit more, as it was a less dynamic episode. Not as well. There is lots to talk about, but we've got 4 shows to cover. So, FYI, let's get to it. I took this picture, and I will just say a lot of these pictures, I was a bit under the pump yesterday trying to get this done to get ready, just because at the minute life is quite busy. But I tried to capture some moments that I thought, okay, yeah, I want to talk about that because I really liked his performance in this scene, and I just thought it worked well, like him cleaning his brother, and just him spending time with him in silence. I like that. But I do have a bit of a question about what they did in this episode, and I want to know what you guys think about it. But what did you think about this bit before I get into that? Like, was this
Dude,
anything?
you need to take me back because I've watched all 3 episodes of Andor, and I just watched the Thunderbolts. I actually just came back from watching the Thunderbolts. I just came home like 20 minutes ago.
Jesus, putting in work.
Then I had to wait for the end credit scene. So I asked Alfred, "Is there really an end credit scene?" Yes, there is. So
yes.
it took me some time to get back.
And that end credit scene, I think, tells us much. So this is at the start where he cleans Joel, and he's just spending time with it in silence and stuff. Yeah, like the kind of yes, I like that we got this scene. I'm pretty sure it time jumps, right? And because I skipped
like
through the
year,
episode yesterday. Yeah, is it a year? I didn't know if it was that long.
I don't know. It could be months.
Jesus Christ. Often's here too. Shit. Okay. Often, brother. Colin Lakagi the goat. Is that a camera, or are you just happy to see us?
Oh, it doesn't time jump because it just cleans up Joel.
Yes.
And then it kind of time jumps, I think.
Yeah. Often, if you can remember, brother, let us know. Good to have you back. Okay.
Oh, dude, Andor, I can't remember. Year. Oh man,
Andor's
I'm so screwed watching
Jesus Christ.
these 2 shows.
We're in trouble.
Yeah.
We're in trouble. This is tough. Okay, so there is a time jump anyway. I think it's 18 months, maybe. I think it's
even more than a year now.
Like that.
I think it's less than a year.
Oh, fuck those. Who knows? Okay, look. My thing is, they didn't spend, as someone who's watching the show as a show, to take out a main character and then to do a time jump. I'm kind of like, hey, give the actors who are the people around him in the show time to mourn the loss, deal with the tragedy, clean up the town. They skipped all. They skipped all that. I want to see that. That's just how I felt about it. So, I don't know. 3 months. 3 months.
This is a lot more than you got in the game. 3 months. Okay, cool. So this is more than you got in the game. So for me, it was.
I get that in a game because it's different format. Yeah. But in a show, for me, I'm thinking I want to see them deal with the next day. How are they going to be acting? How I want to see that drama like of the next day. So and this is kind of like a next day, but it's just a quiet next day. But I don't know.
Yeah, so that's kind of, but they couldn't. But then, because then you couldn't do the story right. It would have taken too much time for something that's not part of the story. And So that's why I kind of told you last time that I didn't like that they actually went through with killing Joel because he's like the most interesting character for me. Um, and if you do kill him, yeah, then it would be cool to more and more and grieve. But that's not the story, so they just couldn't.
Yeah, I just felt like in the role of the show, it
Yeah,
not if you take it away from the game and then just telling a story as a show, I feel like man, you just killed off a freaking the main character, a
yeah,
main character, and you time jump. Let me sit with the people who are dealing with that the next day, especially after everything that happened.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So, but then
I
it
don't know.
would be a completely other story. It would be dealing with the grief of the town getting killed and Joel getting killed, both in their own ways, and that would have
Mm,
taken like a couple of episodes, and then
mm.
that would have been it.
Yeah.
Could have
Often
been a
says
better
they
choice,
talk.
though.
Yeah, I don't know. Just that's how I was thinking about it. They talk about it in the pod. This was an episode to mourn them. Yeah, definitely. They would have gotten. What's
He's
that?
so
You will find
sneaky.
out. You're a freaking.
He's so sneaky.
You need
Such a
to
tease.
decipher this.
Often such a tease.
You are a tease often. So look, I'm thinking. I don't know. I just thought that. I thought I would have. Neither here nor there. It didn't ruin the day. I just thought, okay, let's talk about that because I was expecting something different. So just thought I would add that. Then we cut to obviously Ellie going through Joel's house, which I thought was cool. That was a cool way to mourn him. The way she got out of hospital and talked with the doctor, and so she got out. You have the scene with her and the doctor in the hospital, which I'm sure they actually maybe they won't have any more scenes together. Who knows? Now that they've gone off on a mission, but they have a
Yeah.
little interaction. Then she comes home and does the mourning of Joel. I like that. I like that she gets his gun. I thought
Oh,
this was
dude.
a cool
So
scene.
the thing that I kind of glanced over, but when they told it in the podcast, I thought, yeah, that was cool. So if you haven't seen the podcast, just watch the official podcast because it's always
Yeah, I
cool
missed
to
it
see
this
it
week.
after the show. What they're talking about is that in the box you see Joel's watch, which is broken, and it has always broken since his daughter died.
Mhm.
And that was very sacred to him because it meant kind of his life stopping or changing after Sarah died.
Mhm.
So that's like his most important possession. But when you see Ellie go through the box, she just breezes through the box, shoves the watch over, and the most important thing to Ellie is the gun because that's her
Mm.
relationship with Joel. And she's going to take revenge, of
Mm.
course.
Revenge. Yeah, that's interesting. I like looking how they do things like that and how they show someone's intention because I'm pretty sure from what I've seen them say, wouldn't say no. My interpretation, I guess, is that obviously this is going to be about her revenge now and coming after Abby
Yeah,
to, and then the cycle continues essentially, type of thing,
yeah,
eye for an eye. So it's cool that they show it in ways like that by skipping over that. And to be honest, I didn't catch that about the watch, so that's really cool.
yeah. It was.
Thank you for bringing that up. That's actually really cool, and that makes it even deeper. I love that shit. Lokagi says John is saying it's like if Tony died halfway through Iron
Yeah, so
Man.
that's
Yes,
how I feel as
and then,
well.
and,
Yeah,
and then you do a time jump, and you don't see anyone have to deal with it.
yeah,
Everyone's just
true.
moving
That's how I
on.
feel because, and that's why I didn't like that choice.
Mm. Yeah, I
Joel's
don't know.
Iron Man.
Yeah, bastards. That kid tripped playing baseball must have been a thunderbolt. Damn.
With the asterisk.
With the asterisks. And then Dina comes. I quite like this interaction, and she comes straight out like a ride or die friend. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I thought they would have shoved the box like at least 5 times before Ellie took a cookie.
F Jerry.
he was he was threatening Joel. You need to go.
He didn't need to go. So yeah, this sets the scene, I guess, of them going on the mission. This is how I'm taking it. They're going to go on a revenge mission to go get him, which I like. I like a good revenge story. I like
Yeah.
revenge, so that's cool. Then we cut to these guys. I don't know
Oh,
anything about
dude.
these guys. I just know. So when they say it's wolves coming, are they talking about Abby's
Yeah,
people?
it's the
Yeah,
WLF. It's wolves.
yeah, WF. Yeah, okay, cool. Thought so. Um,
So if you've played the
they
game, um, anytime you heard whistling, you thought, "Oh, dude, I'm going to be fucked." It was any whistle means it's going to be tense.
Mm,
So it was a bit weird seeing these guys because they're humanizing the scars, and
mm,
in the game they're not to be humanized. They're just like an invisible slash visible enemy, and they're always formidable, and you know it's going to be hell. And now they put a face on it. They even gave it like a kid's face. So that was a bit weird to me. I didn't think we're going to see the scars this early in the season. I thought
mm,
it was going to be like a couple of episodes further. But they've switched things around, so it kind of makes sense the way they do it now to have this like be a human party as well, like a party you can
mm.
be empathetic towards.
Okay.
We
Okay.
have
So,
logic. Scalpel is unarmed. So Alphen is still stuck up on the doctor being unarmed, but he has Scalpel threatening Joel. And the kid had a hammer, so she gets killed
I'm
because a
pretty
hammer
sure
is
with the
being armed.
scalpel, the like she wouldn't have known. Abby wouldn't have known that he had a scalpel, right? Because she wasn't there, and everyone that was there was killed, right?
Yeah,
Or
but
did he just kill
they
one
were the
doctor?
WF. So
Yeah.
the Fireflies slash WLF, and Jerry was just, it's Abby's dad, and
Yeah.
he had a knife, so you needed to go.
Yeah. Our nurses weren't killed. There you go. So that tell the story that he was.
Yeah,
They probably just said he was unarmed. You know what I'm saying? They probably just like, he's unarmed.
yeah, that's what Alpha said.
He's,
He was
yeah.
unarmed, but he wasn't.
Yeah. Okay, so they're dead. Then we cut to some training. Are we going to see this dude more in the show? Is he more in the game? Because I like his character.
He's more in the game,
He is cool.
dude.
Cool.
I should have said you will find out. Beef guy, beef guy.
Look, they got a Matrix poster on the wall. It's a sign.
Yeah,
They
cool.
snuck a Matrix poster on the wall, even in an apocalyptic world. Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's something to that. I am Hawkeye. Remember, I do spot things. You know what we do. Take the red pill, Anthony. Take it.
Yeah.
And the Two of Hearts. What significance does the Two of Hearts have? Let's go deep.
I don't know.
Let's go deep. This is a shot for the ages. Look at all the things I captured.
Cinematography on this shot alone.
The cinematography from my phone to the screen of the computer. Fantastic. Capturing moments. They're training. Then we have the town meeting. Okay, so he tells her basically you've got to appeal to the people to let you take the resources and people to go get revenge. Take these guys out.
Yeah. So write things down because you're impulsive and you're angry, and people don't react well to angry.
Yeah. And then we get to the big town meeting. I took a picture of the big dog because I'm calling him the big dog for now. Speaking of Hawkeye, I'm mad they lowballed Renner. That's why this. I know. Yeah. I think I heard season 2 would go ahead with what's her face leading the show, but I don't know if that's true. So don't quote me. No, I think they're going to come to the table and give him a deal. Trust me. Yeah, I just got his book. I'm listening to his book as we speak. I'm about an hour and a half in. It's awesome. It's the way he recounts
an hour and a half in.
An hour and a half. It's
an arrow and a half.
Arrow. Sorry.
An hour
and a half in. It's like a 6.5 hour book. Hour and a half in. I'll probably finish it this week because I listen to it when we're working.
I can't unhear it now.
Fucking hell. It's early, dog. Okay.
An hour and a half.
An hour. And it's a pretty harrowing story. Like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. His whole time leading up to it, so many just things get in the way of this weekend happening properly, and then when it happens, it's just like it was almost like signs leading up to it that just something drastic was going to happen. That's what I've taken from it anyway. But yeah, like, and I just listened to him on Rogan, so we talked about it on Rogan. But yeah, if you're into books, he's on Rogan.
Cool.
And he's talking about the release of the book. It's called My Next Breath, and he really
Mm,
goes into like because his eyeball pops out, bro. His eyeball, he's looking at his own eyeball sitting on the ice, and he's talking
damn.
about it. He's talking about what he was thinking, or he was just trying to breathe because he
Yeah.
couldn't breathe on his own, so he actually had to make himself breathe for like 45 minutes until
Dude.
people got that. It's crazy. I don't know how he lived. So I hope they come back to him now that he's
I'm
getting a
guessing
lot
the
of
book will sell
attention.
well.
Oh yeah, I reckon. It's a quick, easy. I say read, but it's a quick, easy listen when you do audiobooks, and it's him talking, so it's even
Oh,
better.
okay. I always love that. I always love that.
Yeah, he had a ghostwriter write it, but the way
Mhm.
they did it was he would talk, and they like the ghostwriter helped
Yeah.
set up the structure of how you do
That's
a
how it usually
biography, and
is, right?
yeah, and I like that because I'm like cool because I've always thought of the idea of loving to read a book, and I never thought that there'd be formats and things that you could do.
Yeah.
Write a book, sorry, not read a book.
And it's also a
So yeah,
ghostwriter.
that was cool.
Except for Josh Brolin. He's proud at
Yeah.
having a ghostwriter, just like you
He
said.
was, yeah, yeah, and McConaughey, I think as well. It's a lot
Okay.
of. I think I don't know if he had technically if he had one, but I know it's all his journal notes because he's a big journaler. Yeah. Anyway, we're off track. All Avengers films that didn't have Hawkeye, they lost. Hashtag secret weapon.
Dude.
Yeah, he's the
That's
secret
true,
weapon.
though.
Look, we've rewatched the Hawkeye show.
Mhm.
A couple times now. I love that show. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, it's a
It's
really
like a
cool, fun
Christmas.
show.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
it is.
a better Christmas movie than Die
So to
Hard.
not get a season 2 with an actor like Jeremy Renner, like, because they offered him half the money, bro, for the same. So half
Yeah,
he's
so
a
probably they're just handing it off to Haley Atwell. No, not
yeah,
Haley Atwell. Stanfield. And
yeah,
so I guess it's going to be like a minor role.
yeah. It's not cool. I love it as well. Could have, yeah. Season 2 could have been Die Hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we get to the speech. He steps up. Obviously, that I kind of think more along the lines of him if it was my loved one. So I like that he said it. It's
Yeah.
almost like he said it so she didn't have to say it.
No,
She's
that's
trying to
just
be
saying that the town is a bit divided, but mostly people don't want to go after him. But he is like old school and he just wants revenge.
yeah. Well, I like him, and yeah, I like the Tracksuit Mafia too. It's just so much about that series was great. The Swordsman, he's a freaking gangster. I love him.
Bro.
He's awesome, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Bro.
Anyway, no, yeah, look, it's a great show. I'll rewatch it again. I hope they change their ways and bring him back. Now that
Yeah.
he's getting media attention and he's talking about it, they can get him moving. Anyway, so then he does his thing. He says what I think how much he did for. He does her little speech. Now I did see someone I listened to talk about this scene and how good the acting was. I don't know. I didn't really get it as much. I didn't really think it was a great speech. Am I
Yeah, so
like
no, it's not about the
great?
speech. The acting is great because say what you will about Bella Ramsey. I think it's the actor's job to portray whatever the story writer, storyboard writer, showrunners want to have put from the pages onto the screen. And if they're
Yeah.
satisfied, the actor's done a good job. They're satisfied.
Mhm.
So obviously, Bella's done a great job. The thing that she was supposed to act here is like a fake speech.
Yeah.
Because Jesse says she needs to write things down and she needs to convince the people instead of being
Mm,
angry. But that's just her. She's just angry and she wants revenge. So this is like a
mm,
mock up speech just to get
mm.
the people motivated, but she's not really buying it herself. So that's what the acting was about. Her not actually feeling her own speech,
Yeah.
except when she talks about revenge.
Yeah, that was I think that, in hindsight, looking back, that definitely comes across.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it depends. It's just your perspective of how you take it. Well, it doesn't work. So people get that feeling and it doesn't
Yeah.
work and she doesn't get the votes. Then we cut to
Worst
Tommy.
therapist ever.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I love her. She's a gangster.
Yeah, but she's the worst therapist ever.
That's who I if I ever went, that's who I'd go to. I'd be like, give me that woman.
Yeah, you would.
She
It
is
would
a
be like you
gangster.
to choose the worst therapist ever. It's like
I'm like,
putting all of your problems just in the town gazette. She just blabs it all through.
I love her. I've loved it pretty much every scene with her. I think she is fantastic, this woman, and I just love how she plays it. Like, and she's talking about, I need a therapist. I need a therapist. And
Yeah,
I'm the only one. I love that. That was cool. God, uh, best
best
mom
mom
ever.
ever.
She's great in heaps of stuff she's in. She was great in Beetlejuice too. I remember back
She's
in
a
the day.
great actress.
Yeah,
Period.
just a great actress and a great role. This is a really good role for her. So she's been a highlight for me, and Tommy as well. You know what?
Yeah.
He's really grown on me, and I've seen a couple of videos of him, like in interviews and other things recently, and he just seems like a really genuine, fun guy. Like I saw this epic video with him on a show, and he's talking about Arnold because they did Terminator together.
Arnold.
Arnold, and
Yeah, you're
so
better at it.
he gives Arnold a call while he's on the show, and Arnie picks up, and he's like singing all his praises and talking about how much of a great guy he is. And I thought that's cool. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I hope more comes for him in this character. I'm assuming in the game, maybe.
And also, do you realize that we are talking about two shows, and both shows have a Luna? So it's Gabriel
Mind
Luna
Game.
and Diego Luna.
Crazy. I did not know that. Freaking Anthony coming in with, let's give you one of the, I think you've earned this. You know what we do. I think you've earned that. We're on fire, Anthony. Freaking dropping dimes.
All of them also.
Oh shit. And just
Don't
want to
even
add
get me started about the cinematography.
the cinematography on this was fantastic. Probably one of my best screenshots I've ever captured.
Yeah, the lighting
Like,
of the chair is just amazing.
Yeah. I think, and the angle that I got it at, because you know when you're putting a phone to a screen, sometimes it's hard to get the angle. I think I nailed it. Nailed it.
So how meta is this? We're talking about the cinematography of capturing the cinematography.
Then we've got
Seth.
they come and get the gun. Yeah, he gives him a gun. They're going on
Actually,
a mission.
Seth helping them. Well, a homophobe Seth. So
Yeah.
Ellie hates him, but he's kind of the same as Ellie,
Yeah.
but not. So they nod, they shake hands, and he helps them with a gun.
Yeah. Well,
It's better.
Yeah, it's better. Do it.
Trade.
Trade. Yeah, I like how he played it.
Better.
You know what I was thinking? He, of course, he was going to help them after his speech. That's how I saw it. I'm like, that's why he's helping, because of his speech. He aligns with her on revenge. He knows that she wants revenge. He's telling everybody that's what they should do. He wants revenge. Of course, he's going to be there to help her. From the lighting choices.
So what exactly do you mean? Do you like the lighting choices inside the series, or the lighting choices of the light reflecting from the television or John?
Yeah. See, look, there's a little bit of light reflection up in these top corners, but you know what? That was a
And
choice
bottom
I
corner.
made.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, in the bottom, but I made a choice on this because it was a dark scene. I thought let's just add a little illumination on the edges, highlight what's in the middle. Yeah, highlighting what's in the middle. Managed.
You could either play no, or woo.
Actually, that's a good point. What do you guys think I'm going to play? Which one?
Dude, I did not catch that Seth was in RoboCop 3.
There we go. Boom. He was RoboCop 3.
That.
He's the man. Your TV has light bleed, means it's black lit. There you go. Boom. Well, it's my computer screen that I'm getting it off. Computer screen, Mr. Offen.
Yeah. Anyway, if you go back one slide, I thought what was amazing was that Ellie is basically just an emotional screw up in the sense that she just wants to take revenge. She doesn't even think about it. She just thinks as we as gamers do. We just want action. She thinks she's prepared to get revenge, and she only packs guns, and that's it. And then Dina comes in, And Dina shows how much of a veteran she is as opposed to Ellie, because she plans out everything. She plans the route, she plans the stuff they need, she plans everything. So
well, it's cool that they show that, like, you're that just crazy that you have only packed guns for how long are you going to be going for? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, and the chugs and guns. That's it.
Dina the Explorer.
Dina.
We like that movie. Watch that
Dora.
movie with Mila. Yeah, Dora the Explorer.
Is there a movie? I thought it was. A series.
Well, there is a series, but she's the live action version. There's a movie.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I didn't
good
know.
kids movie.
Damn.
Yeah, your daughter might like it.
I'm out of the loop.
Yeah, you need to step it up. Look, let's just get it out of the way first. Another great shot. I get it. I know, guys. But this is the scene that everybody was waiting for of Bella coming, Ellie, whatever, Bella, Ellie, Ella, Belly, coming to Belly to pay her respects. This was a cool scene, leaving the coffee grinds there. Very sad. Coming to scene before she goes on the mission, but also not as sad because I felt like a little disjointed this episode because of the time jump. I don't know if that was that shook me. But either way,
you were just mourning. You were still mourning.
I was still mourning.
Yeah,
I was still mourning Joel.
It had a bigger impact on you than you thought. Joel being dead.
Pedro! Like the juxtaposition of the glare of the shadows, which showed the inner turmoil of the character's face. That's correct. Lukagi. Lukagi is a connoisseur of words.
Of cinematography, yeah.
Cinematography. He gets me. You're
like twin flames. Twin flames.
I wanted wailing and crying in this episode. I wanted to see some drama. No, they still did a good job of mourning him.
Sorry?
But yeah, they still did an alright job at mourning him.
Yeah. I also thought it was a good choice or a cool choice that she said, I just want to see Joel when we're going to get our revenge.
Yeah.
She can only face him when she can say, I'm going to get revenge.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's deep. That is deep, actually. I like that. Then we cut. They've been traveling for a while. I took this picture because of obviously it's a scene where they're showing Dina more now. Seems to be the one that's engaging and wanting to do something. At least that's the impression she gives off.
Yeah, I think.
Or is she just teasing her?
Dina is often level tease.
Yeah. Yeah, good point.
Often level tease. Yeah.
Often is Dina. You tease.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But Dina is female often.
Female often. There you go.
Female often.
So obviously, yeah, something's going to happen. Feelings are growing. They're building the relationship. She's sending signals to let it to. I feel like she's sending her signals to get her to come around out of her shell. Yeah, definitely. And she's always bringing it up. And then we come across these dudes. They're all dead. Showing that Wolf are obviously not nice guys.
Yeah, so
pictures, I think.
Yeah, so at first when I saw it, I thought this is weird. They're talking about who's the first guy you killed.
That's right.
Ellie doesn't want to talk about it because it's obviously Riley, the first one. And the second one she does talk about, but it's all very blasé. And then they actually see dead people, and all of a sudden Dina throws up. And I thought, this doesn't make any sense. But then I thought, yeah, it kind of does make sense because I've seen like hundreds of dead people by now, but children just hit differently. And I think that's what made Dina throw up.
Made her.
Series. In the game, it's just it's the smell of a dead horse. I think this is just seeing kids even being taken out.
Because you would think that when 3 months earlier, with the time jump time, when they came back to the camp, she might have seen some carnage that maybe she would have thrown up then, and would this be as bad as that? But they didn't give us any of that. Just saying.
No, but like I said, kids, it just hits differently.
Yeah. I don't like asshole Falcon. Yeah, he betrayed us. He betrayed his bro.
So
So basically, this feels like a little bookmark, and now we're ready to begin the mission of them coming for.
Seattle,
However,
right? However, here it comes.
Correct me if
Drum
I'm wrong.
roll.
I have a guess of what the next episode is going to be about,
Oh my
because I
God.
feel like they did this in the first season. You guys can tell me if you think I'm right. I think the whole next episode, or most of it, will be about Abby and her crew. What do you reckon? Do you feel like, I feel like they're going to do that? I feel like they, like last season, they cut to the guys in the house over time, and that was a whole episode about their relationship. I feel like they're going to do before these guys interact, we're going to give you these guys' side of the story for the last 3 months, maybe, or what they're doing now. That's my guess.
So I love that you're the only one that doesn't know what's going to happen.
We've reached the autosave point. Am I right? Come on. I feel like I should make these guesses from now on.
It's cute. Make them.
Sweet. You'll find out. Fuck you guys. Signum Parvis Magna. Stop trying to make me say hard things. God damn it. You'll find out. You guys. This definitely feels like a save point. I feel like we're going to experience Abby's side of the story now. Calling it. Oh, okay. So this is the last one. Overall, I'm still in the show. I just have my gripes about how they dealt with Joel's passing, but I get it. They're setting the stage for they're going on a revenge mission, and I'm open to find out how that goes. I'm getting attached to characters. The dude from Beef, and Tommy.
So I actually think
Doctor.
the dude from Beef is a pretty good actor, because in Beef he had like completely different energy, and he's pretty cool right now.
Yeah, I like him. I think he'll do well. I see a good career for him.
Yeah.
He seems like a pretty versatile actor. He was great.
And
in
if
Beef,
we say so, it must be true.
It must be true. Look, we've been known to peak talent. We've been known. Look, we are pretty fucking good guys. You know what I'm saying? We're not
trash.
No, we're not.
No.
I'm just going through all the highlights, Anthony. Just going through all the highlights.
Oh, hell no.
Dude, you didn't even do Pedrogasm.
It's too long. It's too long. Oh, shit. It's like 45 seconds. They're teeing things up right now. The one thing I like about The Last of Us is when they take a big swing, they normally follow through. True that.
They did.
It definitely followed through.
Yeah, I was hoping that it didn't on the show. Look, I was hoping they did like Scotty saving Pedro, and then he was out of commission. Then Ellie would go after Abby, and then knowing that Pedro could actually die but didn't, and him going after Ellie as the second party, that would have been cool. Him and Dina going after Tommy and Ellie. And then as an audience you thought, ooh, we almost lost Joel, so it's actually up for grabs for him to be killed, and then they could set up him being actually killed at the end of season 3 by foreboding that he shouldn't go out because it's too early, and then I think it would raise the stakes, and it would have been so much more interesting.
That makes a good TV show. I think that's a great setup for a good TV show, focusing on them, because we like Pedro as an actor. But I feel like these guys they're dead set going to end it. Like they're pretty much like they're doing the exact story, and I admire that too. Like I admire that, because how many times have we watched things we say, why didn't they stick closer to the source material? Well, we don't say that much, but I know.
No, I was thinking, how many times?
Yeah, no, we don't say that. No, we don't say that. Other people do though, right? I see a lot of other people say that.
Yeah.
So look, yeah, it's definitely interesting one. Now, often says we saw that in season 1. Sorry, I missed the golf puns last week, so I had to get them out today. Follow through. I didn't even get it, Lakagi. That's how next level your thing was. Damn. So Druckmann was pretty adamant about the choice, even with the
Yeah,
game. He
I
was
know that he was pretty
Yeah.
adamant on it, but I didn't like it.
Dr. Druckmann.
Der Ackman.
Yeah,
Neil Der Ackman.
Druckmann. Okay, so let's move on to Rogue One because we're 40 minutes in and we've got 3 episodes. So I did this differently because I didn't look. It was chaos trying to figure out what to get in the time that I had.
So
So
how many slides are there?
it goes to 36. So there's a few.
Oh, it's few,
We're
yeah.
at 14.
So
We're
it's
at
3
14.
episodes.
3 episodes, but
3 bigs.
if you're okay talking about it like this, sorry, I forgot to ask you before we started. I had taken pictures of Bix and Cassian's journey over the 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken pics over like each main character's kind of journey throughout the 3 episodes, and I thought we could talk about each character journey over the 3 episodes as
Yeah, that would be
opposed
cool.
to each individual episode because
Yeah,
I can't remember what happened where,
and it's 3
um,
episodes. Yeah.
and it's 3 episodes. So I thought we'll cover Biggs and Cassian, which is just a couple. It's not working. It's just a couple over their whole journey over the 3 episodes, and then there's these guys, their journey.
Yeah, wait,
over-
don't go through it because often didn't see episode 6.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see
Oh,
episode
he didn't.
5 and 6 even.
So you saying I can hold him ransom? I guess I could just.
He can't. He's just
I
out.
just
He's
yeah. I
just
think
out.
he could- Okay. Oh, I see. I wouldn't do that to you, would I? Oh shit!
Really
There's a
good.
picture in. There's a picture in this from. There's some pictures in this from episode 6. You're gonna. Okay, look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Often time.
Anyway.
We lost often.
Yeah, you better go. Otherwise, we're
Often
going to ruin it.
time.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So if you're still on often, I release you. Go. Okay.
You fucking megalomaniac.
Yeah. Often come back for a second. Okay. Okay. That's what it's. Okay.
We need
Okay.
sad tears video. We don't have a
Sorry?
sad video, right?
No, because we're always so happy.
Yeah.
Don't have spoilers. No.
We should have
No,
played
there you
more
go.
of
Look.
it.
Boom.
Hell no. Oh, the hell no.
There you go. Oh hell no! Yeah, there's that. Is there? I don't even know where it is.
Yeah.
No,
So,
fuck it.
Bix and
Anyway.
Andor.
Bix and Andor. So she's gone through a lot, like over these. I feel like actually looking at it that way, when I was going back getting the pictures and I was just skimming through the episode to try and get just where I saw them pop up, I was like, her whole journey of these 3 episodes from here is having the nightmares about what happened to her in season 1.
Yeah.
She's really struggling to deal with that. Cassian sees it. He wants her to rest. She starts getting addicted to drugs. And then by the end of these 3 episodes, though, she's with what she does or what they do. It's like I think she'll be a new person moving forward in the next episode. Like,
Yeah, it's a revenge story. Now she's obviously back.
yeah, very
That's what it
clever.
seems like.
I wonder if they structured it like that when they're writing and creating the show. Like, okay, because they're doing it like 3 episode blocks. Her journey, these 3 episodes, is dealing with that, and then we're going to put it behind us at the end, which will connect to this part of the story. I just thought that was looking at it like that was really cool.
Yeah, albeit a bit too easy, right? Because not only was she tortured all through season 1, but then she also was it attempted rape, I guess, in the first 3 episodes. So and now
and lost the big dog.
Blown shit up. Yeah, of course, Timmy replacement, and now blown shit up, and then she's vindicated and she'll be a new person. This guy, I think, and even addicted to drugs, to Shimmer.
Yeah, maybe she's not going to be a new person. Maybe she'll still be, but she'll be better. I don't know.
I think she's going to be a new person. It feels like it, because why else would they make such a big scene out of this?
They did make a big scene out of it.
Yeah. So I think she's going to be vindicated and a new person, but it's a bit easy for how traumatic the events have been, right?
Unless they continue to give her some nightmares, maybe, and we see her using the drugs a bit, and maybe that'll come into play.
Maybe
she's not in Rogue One, So
True.
is something going to happen to her before Rogue One? Because Cassian's on a mission. He's not thinking about
Yeah, so that's
loved
what I kind
ones.
of like. That's what I kind of like about season two. Season two is completely different from season one. I feel it's more Game of Thrones ish. It's a lot more CIA ish, and you already
Mm,
know where it ends. So in your head,
mm,
you're kind of tying up loose ends in your head and just figuring out where everyone has
hmm.
been, because she could just be out of it and just
Yeah,
be in
she could be.
hiding afterwards, right? Because she's done.
She could be. Yeah, she
Yeah,
could be. But
because
I like thinking that because they didn't think about this show back then when they made the movie, obviously they
yeah,
could just give her a happy ending and she's off somewhere.
yeah,
Or they could really do something like The Last of Us would do and get her killed off near the end, and
yeah.
or even soon, and have Cassian even more committed to the cause, because he turned down the job to help those guys. I think for a good reason. He was thinking strategically and smart about what would happen
Yeah,
to their
so
people.
there's like a year time jump, and you see, because in the first three episodes you already seen Andor or Cassian as like a veteran, right? And
Hmm.
now even more, and he even says it, I'm a soldier. So he's not a revolutionist yet.
Mm,
He's just a leader of soldiers now. And instead of being just solely out for himself in season one, having that arc, now he's being like a veteran soldier, and he seems to be really good at it. Like a soldier
mhm,
slash field agent of the CIA, but he's not a revolutionist yet, and we know he needs to be one in Rogue One. Um,
mm,
Seeing what happens there and the sacrifice. So that kind of forebode the arc he's going to go through still.
mm. Yeah, mate. Look, I honestly think he's one of my favorite Star Wars characters ever. I absolutely just love his character. I love his acting. I love how smart he is. I love how when he's on the world with the Gormans, how he's dissecting everything. Like, just he is an absolute baller. I need to go and watch the seasons of Narcos with him now, because he took over in Narcos
Oh,
season, like the
okay.
latest season, Narcos Mexico, and we never got around to watching it. And like,
Yeah.
he's that good. I need to go and see what how
Yeah.
good he is
So
in something else.
what I love about Andor, well, one of the things I love about Andor is that I think, taste aside, if you like it or you don't like Andor, I don't think you can deny the quality that's in there. The staging, but also there's so many stage actors, and that's for a reason. It's just because they
Mm.
needed that quality of acting to pull this off. And I think it's quite a big feat.
Honestly, mate, I saw a thing pop up. Look, it's just so it's funny. I thought about it before. It's so funny to me, different people's interpretations of movies and TVs. And look, we all see things differently, and sometimes it can be when you see it, how you see it, what mood you're in, or how you think about film and stories. But like, I look at something like this, even just this shot here, amazing shot by me, by the way. But looking, the actual,
Dude, you're
the
so
actual
back to form. You're so back to form this episode rundown. Classic shot by me.
oh shit! But woo! This show, like, I look at this show, right, and I'm just sitting there. Lani must get sick of it. I'm just sitting there going, this show looks like they poured all the money in the world into it. The sets, the designs of the world. Just think about
I
the
can
world
just
and how. Oh
see
my
you
god!
two on the couch, Lani being hella annoyed by your cinematography remarks.
No, she
She
loves
needs
it,
a
bro.
ribbon.
She's into
She
it too.
needs a medal and a ribbon, dude.
She's a soldier. She's into it. She loves it. But just the world. This is the most Star Warsy looking world I feel like I've seen. Like, as in quality of how real it looks, like how real the world comes across. Like when they're walking through town square on Gorman. I don't have the pictures there. It just looks phenomenal. The writing's phenomenal. Everything is
Yeah,
phenomenal about this
yeah.
show. Fucking, it's just so good. What's the Kagi saying? Before he said, "You can't believe she eats her nose drops." Andor is cool because I love the character, and he doesn't even have a lightsaber. He barely
Yeah.
has a blaster most of the time. Yeah, because this is like this is like Homeland almost, or some,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
in
yeah.
Star Wars world,
Yeah, so
it's
it's it's like a heist movie meets like a CIA movie meets a bit of Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like how would real people who don't have special powers get something like this done? And I love how it also look how much effort and everything that goes into just to get some plans
Yeah.
for something that's used for something else. Like that's what it would more be like in real life. This is more of what it would actually be like
Well, and
trying
characters
to
as
make
well,
things
right?
happen.
Because just like in season 1, there are no good or bad characters. There are protagonists, um,
Yes.
and there's a goal. But every character can have good reasons to do bad things, and vice versa.
hmm
And the show's so nuanced that I just love it.
Especially when we get to Deidre in that. Like their
Yeah,
perspective is amazing. I love that.
dude.
And
Have you seen interviews with the actress?
I've seen a few, not many. Not many.
She always apologizes for her character. First of all, she's just brutally honest. Second of all, she just says, "I don't like the character. I don't know anything about Star Wars. I don't know the character. I don't agree with the character."
Oh my god. She's also Yennefer's voice in the video game, right? I think I often said that before.
Oh, dude, didn't know.
Yeah, she does Yennefer in The
Cool.
Witcher.
Cool.
Um, what's the guy saying? This is how it's done when you can't live a cut with the Force.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
right.
just seen the Thunderbolts, and I just needed to make a remark about the cup. But we
Oh
can do
yeah.
that when we do Thunderbolts.
um, and for me, this is more enthralling because look at the stress it puts on people. Like I'm loving it. Shows it's even portraying Luthen in a light where Cassian's like, you don't care about anybody. You don't care about the Gormans. You just care about this one task, and it's making him out. He's looking at Luthen not in the
As a
light
monster.
like it. Yeah, as a monster
And
essentially,
and
and he's
Luthen
not
sees the
wanting to
bigger
work with.
picture.
Yes, and I love how they're showing us that, and I love everything about Mon Mothma's side and what she's going through, and it's showing you what all these different people are going through just to
But
get
when
to
you
this
go,
one point. To get,
yeah, but when you
bro,
go back to Cassian and Luthen, they're both right. So that's what's cool about the show.
yes, because like if you put yourself in the scenario of what the show is and what the
Yeah.
world is and what's
Yeah.
happening, you can't. Us and people in Western worlds and people in safe countries and things that take things for granted, it doesn't work like that. in like, it doesn't work like that when you've got
Yeah.
a regime like the Empire. So Luthen, you could see where Luthen's like, this is what has got to be done to get this done for the overall good. But Cassian is also looking at it on what we would on a human level if you were the one that had to do it, or you were the one that would know what would happen. It's just so well done.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So,
they're getting friction.
well,
right?
wait, because just like there's an official podcast for The Last of Us, there's also a podcast which isn't like an official podcast for Andor. I think it's called Ripple TV or something.
Okay.
But it's a very cool podcast because they do interviews with showrunners and actors.
Sweet.
And they comment on it. And so there's also a bit with an interview with Tony Gilroy. And for him,
Nice.
season 2 is like the culmination of his whole life ever, because he's been studying
Jesus.
revolutionists all over
Oh
history,
wow.
using his whole life. So he tried to put every facet of the revolution in this show, and I think it comes across really well.
It does. It's just so well thought out and planned. All these different pieces going, showing us the different sides. It really is. Just even the chess game. When we get to it, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's doing the drops.
Shimmer.
Luthen coming to see her while Cassian was away, like that sets up another great scene that I forgot to get a picture of. But him coming to see her, I thought was a real sly move. But
so
also,
it kind of seemed like he wanted to hire her for a job, but then he saw what state she was in, and she thought, she's damaged goods. To the point even that he wants Cassian to offer if she becomes more of a problem.
Yeah, which is interesting to see because I'm with Luthen, but also I look at that, I'm like, dude, like.
But
like,
also with
what it
Cassian,
really
right?
takes?
You were both. They're both right. You can't have like liability like a druggie in your resistance because she'll fuck everything up.
Yeah.
But if it's the love of your life, you'll do anything for it.
I wonder if they'll go into that more. See, maybe she can't be all the way better because that's a really interesting storyline to carry along if she keeps struggling and it becomes more of a tension between Luthen and Cassian. I like that. And it just adds another curveball to an already like this the episode 3 was so intense. Sorry, episode 6 was so intense near the end there. I can't wait to get to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Cassian goes undercover, which is epic. I loved all these scenes about how they did the espionage, how they keep the character up. I love all that and how they just go back to talking
and knowing that Tony Gilroy just devoted his whole life into understanding how a revolution comes forth. You can just kind of imagine that these things just happen in real life. Maybe not literally, but kind of.
That's right. And I just want to take a moment to apologize.
He's right. He's right.
I want to apologize. Lakagi, I'm sorry, bro.
I'm so glad S-Beam is there to correct us because he's wrong. It's Selvig.
It's Selvig. It's Selvig. I can't believe I forgot. You know what? That deserves another callback to a classic, I think. Or maybe it's not a classic, but yeah, it's something.
I forget things almost instantly. It runs in my family.
Fucking hell. Okay, but yes, this Selvig was fantastic. And I love he's there analyzing, like this whole time he's there, he's analyzing what's going on. The speech with the bellhop in the hotel was great.
Yeah.
Just finding out about that. Just all the espionage and everything he does when he's there. It's so intriguing. I didn't really take any pictures of the Gormans, just because of the time crunch I was under, but like I get where they're coming from too. They want to stop their world from being taken over, but they've really done a good job of showing, and through Cassian as well, that they don't know what they're doing, and that's very evident at the end of season 3 as well. So he's like, you guys are going to get slaughtered, whereas Luthen he doesn't care. He just needs he needs everybody to do something and create chaos.
Luthen just needs the fuse to be lit.
Yes.
Which is kind of the same thing that Dedra wants, for different reasons.
Yeah, true. That's true. Oh. And then Cassian's in this place now where he's like, why do you think he is? I'm trying to remember, was he like that in season 1 too? Like he's got a conscience.
He had like an arc from being a selfish thief into belonging somewhere. And now it's gone from belonging somewhere to being like just a veteran, high-level operative. The whole group is being like a high-level operatives, and they just meet all these Gorman, this Gorman front, and they're just amateurs. It's just amateur hour, and they recognize it instantly. And Luthen says it doesn't even matter; it just needs to go. It needs to burn.
That's right. That's right. And this is where he's telling him I love their talks in the spaceship.
Yeah.
The talks in the spaceship from season 1 too. I like that he sees that, and they're showing us that through how smart the Empire is tricking them into giving them the win. Like I love that shit, like setting it all up. But then we get to
not the Empire, it's just Dedra, because it's Dedra's plan.
Yeah, true. And we get to this moment. I was satisfied by this moment though, but she still doesn't look happy. She looks sad.
Yeah,
I think I captured that. I captured that moment really well. Get that point across. I wanted to capture her. You can see Cassian's focused. She's sad still, so she may not be better.
It's hard to actually add to the artistry of the already awesome cinematography of Andor, but you did it, dude.
Yeah, I would like to also see how they're walking away from an explosion. They do it well, but they don't do it like this.
Oh, that's hot.
Dude, I thought about it instantly when I saw it. This show has corrupted me to the bone, dude.
I wish you could have got a longer scene of Selvig and Andor discussing their secret identities. Yeah. Okay, then we move on to these guys. To Dedra. I keep forgetting his name. Please, I'm going to feel terrible.
Cyril?
Cyril, that's right. Cyril.
Twin Peaks.
That's Twin Peaks.
Oh, that's Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. So Dedra has got Twin Peaks undercover cover. No, not
So
undercover cover.
Twin Peaks thinks he's in the loop, and he's like a double agent because the Gorman
Mhm.
front. He's been talking to his mom, and he knows
Mhm.
it's being bugged. The Gorman front listened to it, and they
Mhm.
think he's going to be a great asset for our cause. While he's playing them, because together with Deirdre and Partagas, they're setting the revolution up to happen.
Mhm.
Because if the revolution gets big enough, it just gives the Empire an excuse to kill everyone.
Mhm.
Um, but
It's
Cyril
so
isn't
maniacal. It's so evil, and it's such a
yeah,
good
because
plan. That
Cyril isn't
makes
completely in the loop because he wasn't there in the room when they talked about the red kryptonite.
Mhm.
They call it Carnite, right? Like the
Mhm.
unlimited energy, unlimited power.
Limited.
Because that's the end goal for the Empire. Unlimited
Mhm.
power, fuel up the Death Star, and then things are done. And
Mhm.
Cyril just thinks they want to squash the revolution.
Mm.
While the Empire just wants to, well, not the Empire, Krennic he wants to kill the whole, everyone on the planet so that they can just mine.
Mm. I love this plan, bro. Like, it's so smart, right? Like, you've
CIA.
got it's so like we want to give like we want to set them up so we have a reason to act. So let's give them wins. It's just so smart, and their whole plan to do it. Like, but to them, they're not acting evil, which is what I love. They're
Yeah.
just these guys are doing it like it's a job. We're smarter than you. We got to make this thing happen. This is how we're going to do it. They're
Dude, I
not
have a theory.
evil about it.
Well, not a theory, it's a fantasy, which I would love. Because
Okay.
Cyril is being castrated by both women in his life, right? By
Mm-hmm.
Jewish mom and
Mm-hmm.
by his girlfriend. They
Mm-hmm.
both think he's just too soft and
Mm-hmm.
gullible. I saw like a woman in the Resistance, the one that Cassian meets.
Yes.
She probably won't think that he's a pushover and a softie. Um, do you
Ooh.
think?
Okay.
Do you
Okay.
think Cyril finds out that he's being played by Dedra and falls for the girl in Resistance?
I don't know, but I want that to happen.
Dude, I would love
I
that.
want him to I want him to flip. I want him to
Yeah.
flip and become a good. I feel like I see it in him. Like you see it in him. He's not evil. I mean, they're not evil either, but they are.
Well, Dedra is.
Deidre,
Dedra is.
yeah, yeah, she which is awesome. I love that they made a character like
Yeah.
that.
And she's just
I hope that
purely
happens.
Empire bred.
Yeah.
Because she was like found. There's
Yeah.
another theory there, but yeah. So I would love that.
That she might be the daughter, right, of someone. Yeah. My favorite
No,
scene is when Steven
she
gives
might
his
be
mom
like
his life.
Andor's sister because it didn't tie that part up, right? Andor's
Oh
still
shit.
Andor. That's how season 1 started, right? With Andor
That's
looking for
right.
his sister.
That's right. That's right. Looking for his sister. Shit.
And they still didn't tie that up. So, and this is going to be the last season.
This is, yeah. And that's another thing I love about it. It's like it's just doing what it does. I love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. That's interesting. I forgot about that. But she's not the same nationality, right? You think
We
that
don't
they
know.
worry about
She
that?
just thinks that her, she just got kidnapped from her parents.
Man, imagine if they do make her the sister. Man, oh, bro, that would be epic. I want both those things to happen. He ends up going with the resistance, and
Yeah.
she ends up becoming thing. That would be
I would love
amazing.
that. Yeah.
Haven't seen Andor yet, but good morning. Oh, Renz,
Oh,
bro, good to
Hawkeye's
see you,
here.
mate.
Hawkeye's here.
Hawkeye's here. I'm too slow. He's here. There you know what we do. Well, I would probably leave, bro, if you don't want us to spoil Andor, because we are spoiling Andor.
Yeah, a bit.
But
A
thanks
bit.
for dropping by.
A bit
Yeah.
too much.
Going deep. Too deep. Then so Deidre's then talking with this guy. Took you a second.
Yeah.
I'm dropping Easter eggs and jewels today.
As always.
Oh, you know what would be another cool video? You know what?
Leave it to Lukaku to spoil it again, which is
Oh, Jesus Christ.
and Scotty saved Joel. We also remember. We also discovered that
For
from
the
the mall.
UA, I might try and get a clip of Hawk from Cobra Kai, because every time he goes to do a kick in that show that has the Hawk sound, that'd be a good video to play. One of
Yeah.
him doing like a
But we already have
jumping.
Hawkeye, so
Yeah, I
maybe
guess.
it's enough. Maybe it's enough.
What? And Cyril's gonna fall in love with the Resistance.
Yeah,
Anthony's called it.
Resistance Girl.
Anthony's called it. So he's he's doing a good job. I feel like he's doing a good job getting in there and working with the
Yeah,
Resistance.
but he's being played. Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy. Cyril must never know.
She's doing a good job, though.
Yeah, she's doing a good job. I feel like she does a really good job with her facial expressions of making herself look just void of any warmth at all.
Okay, so I was kind of addicted to watching interviews with her because they're just flat out hilarious. In another interview, she talks about that someone, I think it was her mom, but I'm not pretty sure, she has like a downward mouth naturally. And someone, which maybe her mom, told her that she shouldn't have that because she wouldn't get any roles with a downward mouth. And so she said, Lucas laughing now because she probably got a role for a downward mouth now.
Yeah, for real. Because it definitely works. Just the look of she just looks. Man, I was getting light on pictures for those guys. So either way, her plan's working. They're doing what they're doing. He's doing what he's doing. But you're right. He did have a look with that girl who I didn't get a picture of.
He's getting played. No. Dude, the scenes with Saw Gerrera. Oh, just go ahead. But they were dope.
No, they were crazy. Like, I can't remember. What does this thing do?
Ghost Dog was crazy.
Ghost Dog was crazy. I only got the one picture with them. So the whole story, though, from him getting there, they basically kidnap him and get him to teach the other guy. The other guy is from 1823.
Okay.
Paul Gullet. Yeah, he plays a German immigrant in 1823. I just saw him in that. Anyway, then we find out he's been snitching, so he kills him and then keeps him. Now, what is this thing he built again? Is it's an engine, right, or a bomb? Like, it's got the gases, because I know he talked to him about the gases and burning your chest and your lungs, and he's getting him to breathe it in, and that's what's happening here. But what was the point of that? I can't remember.
I don't even know anymore.
I can't remember.
What is he trying to do again?
Like, because he's talking about, you're here, you're ready to fight. He's like, it's like he's convincing him to join their team to fight the resistance, but getting him to breathe in this shit. I don't remember why he's getting him to do that. If anyone,
it has to do with conviction, at least.
Yeah, Renz, I know you haven't seen, but if you could tell us why he's getting him to do that, that'd be fantastic.
No, it's a conviction thing. It's the why is a conviction thing, but I don't remember yet what he's doing with the pipes and the channels and the stuff. I just accepted that it's like another heist thing. But
yeah. Either way, we're getting a little bit more of their story, so that's cool. Then we cut to we're on the home stretch now. Last 7 slides. I just took this one because he's replacing Jimmy Smits because of scheduling. So he's playing Saul Gerrera. Yeah, no.
Saul Gerrera was
right. Ortega.
Yeah.
Jimmy Smits. He's replacing Jimmy Smits. Yeah. I think someone in terms of who's doing it back. Oh, that could be why. I think I got nothing.
No.
Good try. Yeah. So he's replacing him because of scheduling conflicts. That's why I read that he just could not get out of whatever else he was doing. So recast. So they're bringing him into it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Whether it's for this episode or not, I don't know. But again, the sets, the designs, the world that they've created for all these characters,
cinematography.
It's one of the best looking shows out there. I just don't think it's getting enough love for how beautiful and realistic it's made, and how big, wide shots they do of this. When Cyril's walking through the town of Gorman, just how amazing that looked. Oh, it's just phenomenal.
Well, it definitely doesn't get enough love because there's like a hardcore Star Wars audience that just loves movies 1 to 6, and this isn't Star Warsy enough, but it has the Star Wars brand, so it doesn't get love. And there's also like, would you believe it? There are people who don't watch anything Star Wars, so they don't watch Andor either. So yeah, people
Yeah.
miss out.
I was talking to my brother-in-law about this last night. We went out for a birthday dinner, and I'm telling him that I was like, "Oh, you should look at Andor. It's actually it's more CIA-ish espionage. It's in Star Wars, but it's not really. If you class Star Wars as just lightsabers and Force, then."
Yeah.
But that was more of a reason that he would probably actually watch it if it was more CIA. So that might be a thing that brings him over. So there are people like that too.
Yeah.
But this sets up an amazing whole sequence coming up of these guys meeting. This is like a big showdown. This felt like a big showdown.
Yeah.
Meeting Krennic, the big dog. He's still one of my favorite actors. I'm still upset about his death in Secret Wars, whatever it's called. Whatever, I can't remember what it was called. They killed him. They shouldn't
The
have.
Secret Wars, right?
Was it?
I think so.
Yeah.
You have to admire the Mon Mothma dresses and jewelry. And
she's
this is like the classic espionage thing going wrong. We need to recover something. It's tense because they see what we're doing. You know, it's cool. And the toupee, Selvig's toupee.
Yeah. So the whole setup, like I only got pictures of these guys from this final scene because I thought we could talk about the final secret invasion. Thank you.
Ah, yeah, of course. Makes more sense.
That does make more sense. Just brain fog.
Dude,
but yeah, this whole sequence was just epic. I loved everything about it.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying these guys, they were. I loved her in this episode, and Lonnie.
Yeah.
Lonnie had a lot more play these last 3 episodes as well, and I quite like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, Anthony, like, I don't care who they're following. I'm into like all the characters and what they're going through, and even more so with the assistant. I can't remember her name, but
Claire.
She was great in this whole sequence.
So
getting Lonnie.
You say assistant, but even in season 1. I'm not sure about the hierarchy between her and Selvig. Because sometimes it feels like she's just a tad above Selvig.
Maybe they're a team. I don't know.
I don't know. That's interesting.
I think I meant, funny you say that. I think I meant assistant as in their cover-up job. She's the assistant.
Yeah.
I think that's what I meant it, like in their
that's
fake facade. Yeah, assistant that way, because she's more like the comms manager. Like she's the one who's wheeling and dealing and keeping the finger on the pulse of everything, and he's just doing his thing, and then she's getting all the information for him or to share with him. Either way, but this whole sequence of them trying to do that, getting stuck, the tension building, she was awesome.
Yeah, shedding blood for the cause.
Shedding blood for the cause. Mon Mothma's going at. I loved how she went at Krennic. I thought that was really cool. And just their back and forth was great. Then we get to they finally get there. Lonnie steps up. I'm forgetting a lot of what they talked about, but I love how they went into the detail of it being like a grail. You have to feel like a book. You got to feel that was really cool. At first, when they talked about the forgeries, I thought, oh, has Selvig been selling everything as a forgery? And they're worried about that getting found out, but it was actually them worrying about finding about the bug.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Listening device.
That's right. So, yeah, that was really cool that they got to do that. And their kind of journey. They didn't have as big a storyline over these 3 episodes. I think these guys had the least, Selvig, that being. But it culminated in an epic sequence at the end of this show.
What the hell?
Where they have a tense battle versus verbal.
And dude was in Dirty Dancing of Nights. I didn't know, dude.
Serious?
Hawkeye.
I might show that to Mila. Like, Mila, let's watch Dirty Dancing Havana Nights. She's into dancing right
That's
now.
funny. That's funny.
That's crazy, bro. Okay, so that's all with these guys. Is there anything else you want to add about this sequence?
No.
Sweet. And then we cut to these guys, their storyline.
that's
Obviously,
the
they
stones.
meet back up. This shows that they're not interested like Cassian is about looking at the risks. They're just like, we're just going to do it.
Well, they follow orders, so some things are a bit too on the nose. I think her name is Sindra or something.
Yes.
Okay, or Cinta. Her and Val just repeat that everyone needs to just follow orders to get the fuck out of there, which of course doesn't happen. So things go wrong, but they're just there because they are following orders. They're not as good as Andor, but they'll follow Luthen's orders.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, so the first 3 episodes, the end of episode 3, where Tay gets in the car with her to drive off after Luthen said that we need to off him. We never saw anything happen with that.
No, so I thought Tay was going to die. I'm still thinking he died because I think we saw Skulden, right? Not Tay. In these 3 episodes.
Yeah, Tay hasn't been in these 3 episodes. His last scene was him getting in the car where she was driving.
Yeah, he was a loose end.
But is he dead? And maybe
probably.
So maybe showing
He's
her,
loose end.
maybe
capture, I think.
So I think their way of showing us that he did die was one, her picking him up, but then also Mon Mothma dancing to the music, getting wasted because she couldn't deal with it, as opposed to showing him getting killed. Interesting. Tay went golfing. Tay and Waleed will return. Oh shit! I
thought you would have made a golfing joke though, Lukake.
Oh wait, where is it? Waleed.
Oh hell no!
Okay, now this guy, what an absolute gazelle, coming in and causing. Look, they're all gazelles, but this shows like, well, you want to be a hero now and pick her up. You're the reason she's dead, bro. Yeah. Like you come and you didn't listen to them, and you caused like that other guy also didn't listen and brought a bloody gun. But this guy's an absolute wanker.
It's just amateur hour. It's just amateur hour. And
amateur hour.
Sid had like the coolest jump, placing a bomb or whatever. That was a cool sequence. And then she gets killed.
Yeah. All because of their incompetence that Cassian pointed out. Madness. So I'm excited. I have to tell you, I'm probably a little bit more into Andor than I am Last of Us right now.
Yeah.
I'm still in to see where Last of Us goes, but I'm conflicted. So we'll see. We shall see. I don't know. Nice. He's part of the rebels with the Z. No copyright. He was amazing, might I add, for those that know what we're talking about. He was amazing.
I liked Act 1 and 2, 3 not so much.
I don't know why though.
During 1 and 2, I was really thinking, dude, I really like this movie. I was thinking this is going to be like an 8.5 out of 10. Act 3 not so much. But maybe we'll do that in 2 weeks, maybe?
When are we going to have the time to do Thunderbolt? You're a madman. Look, I barely got through getting the pictures yesterday. I cannot.
We don't have to have pictures. We can just talk about the movie, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Cucumber.
I thought Act 3 was all right. I was okay with it. So interesting. It'd be interesting to see why you're not okay with it.
So, dude, we haven't done the rating. What would be your rating for The Last of Us?
The last episode?
Yeah.
Or the last episode? Probably like a. Okay. I'll do it out of 10. Probably between a 6 and a 7. Because yes, they showed her mourning well, and they did some mourning scenes, and there was some moments and things like that. I just wasn't captured by it like I thought I would be after that last episode. Maybe it's the high of the last episode, and that's a real thing. That last episode was epic and will be one of the most epic episodes ever. But it was so much, and it took away so much from us that I'm just not as invested in Ellie as I am in Joel.
Yeah, so
So
see, that's why I'm saying that it's. I don't think it was the right choice to do in the game and in the series, because I think everyone was more invested in Joel than in Ellie. And all the flashbacks in the world won't be able to make up for it. I think I'm more invested in Joel, and I think I'm more invested in Pedrogasm, just to see what he struggles with. I would have loved them changing the story. Joel trying to cope with him and Ellie just being outlaws at first, and now trying to fit into the community with his past,
building the relationship
with
back up.
Eugene, what he did with Ellie, and just the greater good of saving everyone versus saving his surrogate daughter. I would have loved seeing that play out more.
Imagine if they took the story where it got to a point where the whole second season was about them rebuilding their relationship and dealing with what he did, getting to the point where at the end she has a chance to save him, and he tells her not to save him, and he lets himself die to redeem himself to save other people or something. That would have been an epic way to do the story. He killed everybody to save her, but then he learns and tells her not to save him to save other people. What a journey that would have been. Damn, we're good. Damn. God damn.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm doing it. You guys got to watch me find the video.
Woo! I love how you take on the journey of you finding the video.
Let us know in the chat what your rating is.
Yeah, I think Last of Us for me, 7 out of 10 mushrooms.
7 out of 10 mushrooms. Nice.
For me.
Wasn't a Joel in one for me. Bloody hell.
Joel in one. The golf
that was a good one.
And what about
Andor? 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued every minute.
Something, but I don't. It's upwards of a 9 for me. Anyway.
Yeah. 10 out of 10. Come on. Just do it.
But what?
Just say it. Because everything about it, all their execution from what
it's not slushies. It's not going to be shrooms. What is it actually? Kryptonites. Red kryptonites.
Red kryptonites. Or spiders.
Spiders. That's a good one. Spiders.
Boom. Ren's going 7 out of 10 for The Last of Us. Okay. I think we're all kind of on the same level. Andor, 9 out of 10. Nice.
At least.
1.5 spiders. Nice. I'm going to type something. I have to reach for my thing, but I'm going to type something.
Dude,
10
He's doing
out.
it. He's doing it. He's doing it.
Oops. I did 21. Spider-Mans. 10 out of 10 Spider-Mans. Boom.
10 out of
Spider-Man on the brain.
Cool.
Oh, I just got the Spider-Man mask with the mechanical lenses in from Caven Creations, and one of the lenses was broken, so I have to send it back.
Oh, dude, it sucks.
Heartbreaking.
That sucks. Oh, so
I've
said there's a package at the front door for you, and all of a sudden, just Joker 4-pack arrived at my door, and it was stuck so long at customs. Not even my customs, just getting out of Hong Kong was a problem, and it seemed like I wasn't going to get it. And I kind of felt like, oh gee, I'm hoping I'm getting like a bit of a refund at least. And now all of a sudden it showed up. So I was glad.
That's awesome. Have you had to open it, or have you had a chance to open it? Or?
No, I still need to open White Ahsoka. I need to open Maul, and I need to open Joker 4-pack now.
I'm interested to see whether you like the sculpt of the Ahsoka a lot more, because in pictures it looks a lot more like it.
The regular sculpt, every picture that I've seen, just the protos even, the regular sculpt actually looked like Rosario Dawson. The grinning not so much, But on the blue version, it didn't look like Rosario Dawson that much. I think it was a cooler suit though, but it didn't look like Rosario.
Yeah, that's yeah, I agree. Lakagi says, I think I'm at a 10 out of 10 for Andor, mostly because I don't know how they could improve it. Exactly. Like,
True.
I'm looking at it, there's just so
That's
much thought, planning, character development, acting. It's just everything. And then you
Yeah.
add the world they've made it look like. Like, how can you make the world look any better? It doesn't look like bad CGI. It's really good CGI.
Yeah, exactly.
Even down to that episode where Big Dog got shot in the field. Just
Replacement
how they
Timmy.
did the scene. Yeah, replacement Timmy, that's right.
Just
how
how they
just
did
showed the cinematography and how they slowed it down. Look, all the stormtroopers are shooting, but you know it's the guy who's not shooting, who literally just that moment of him aiming like that. That's all they needed to show us to know that that's going to be the guy that kills him. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
Legit. Like, it just, everyone's shooting. You know, they always miss. They always miss, right? But this guy, he's not shooting. He's taking his time. Fucking magical.
Yeah, I might have been a bit cheap with the 4 out of 5. 4.5
Come
out
on,
of 5.
Come on, let's sway him, guys. Dude, there's so many figures coming out. I saw they have a Poe now too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I bought when there was a pre-order 3 of the Mr. Moon figures. It was Mr. Moon, right? The Social Toys one.
Yeah.
Because I thought I'll need a Mr. Moon, I'll need one unmasked sculpt for Moon Knight, and I'll need one for Poe. And now you have Poe, and you have Artisan Moon Knight, and you have Mr. Knight. So what am I going to do, dude?
I'll take one off you. I'll take one. There you go.
Cool.
Boom.
Cool.
I'll take one because I didn't pre-order the Artisan sculpt either. I need to get that. And I definitely want that. But okay, so before we finish up, me and Anthony were talking before the show. I'm going to be working on, or maybe we talked about it at the start of the show, the top 10. I just want to touch on the top 10. I want to put it in your mind.
You did it during the show, dude. You take us on so many journeys, you even forget which journey. So you take us
I forget.
Journey of looking up a video. You take journey, you chatting with a mate about your top 10.
I just want to put it in your guys' thoughts. In your own collection, how would you decide your top 10? You got to put it into criteria. I find I need rules. It needs to be the character, the quality of the figure, but also time spent with the figure, and maybe what other variables would you throw in there if you were going to pick your top 10? So that's what I'm going through now, and I'm enjoying like taking a step back. It's making me look at my collection, look at my figures, think about it. And I think that's a good thing too, because it takes you away from looking for the next thing, gets you looking on what you've got. Dude, like you always talk about.
Anything that takes you from just looking at your tracking list and just wanting to get more is a good thing.
Yes. So I think you should do it. I just want to leave it with you to marinate on for a week.
No, for me, posing is enough to do that. That's why I think posing is so important, just to get less addicted to getting more stuff. Yeah, I don't like to do top 10s because it's so hard, dude. If I were to do a top 10, I would definitely not take into account time spent, because I think that's like the biggest recency bias there is. So I would just chop it up into DC or series of movies or Iron Man, Marvel. I would chop it up like that.
I get that, but that's the easy way out, Anthony. That's the easy way out. Yeah, I want I like the challenge of having to narrow it down. If I've only got 10,
that's what you mean. Yeah.
Like I like that challenge. So for me, I like that challenge. I'm like, damn, I have to be cutthroat. Like, I was having a chat with AJ about it. I'm like, look, Shang-Chi, if I was just picking not time spent, wouldn't be in my top 10 of figures, even though it's a good enough, like it looks great. I think it looks like him. It does the job of looking like him. But if I look at time spent, I made 2 videos with that guy. I got into karate poses. I went down the rabbit hole of researching karate poses. Like all the cool things and memories I have from making the videos with that figure, that has to be a thing that I think about when I'm rating what's one of my favorite. So I'm doing top 10 as favorite.
Yeah.
Not
you should
best
actually
made,
call it my dearest figures. Then
the top 10. Yeah, what would make it? But if you had to get rid of everybody and just keep top 10, what would be the deciding factor?
Dude,
and I think
if you had to get rid of everything,
time spent has to be something.
Dude, if you needed to get rid of everything, and you could only keep 10, would you actually keep Shang-Chi?
That's what I'm saying. Probably not.
No.
However, when I think about fondness and I look at figures or I think about things I've done with it, it would be a top 10 because of how much fun I had with it and how I love the photos that I took and all those things. I feel like that has to be a factor to me.
Yeah,
And
but
that probably will be with some other figures
but
that
if you
are in the top.
if you could only keep 10, you would keep the 10 you would be most fond of stuff, right?
Yeah, so maybe it would be like that's what I'm toiling with. Like I haven't
Yeah.
even narrowed it down to 10 because I've got ones like that where I'm like, if I'm thinking about other ones, I'm like, well, I love Iron Man and I've got all these Iron Mans and I've got all these, but there's that part of me that keeps coming back to these, and that tells me something too, that's a valid thing to look at because my mind keeps going to figures I've had a lot of fun with, of characters. Like I love Shang-Chi, the character, and I like the actor and all that stuff.
This is what I mean. So this is for me why I couldn't just do like a top 10. If I would just make like one top 10 for all of the figures, it wouldn't do justice to the rest of the 499 figures.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of doing it more of if I could only have 10 and these are my top favorite 10.
Cool. My dearest figures.
Exactly.
You could have like 5 top 10 lists, right? You could have one list of my dearest figures, and then you'd have that top 10, and then you could do another top 10.
Yeah, and it got me thinking. I'm like, cool. If I think a figure is better just because it looks better made, but I like another figure because I like playing with it and doing stuff with it and spending time with it and reliving the source material. Like, yeah, pew pew. What deciphers that decision?
Yeah.
What helps with that decision? So I'm just putting the thought out there. And Lakagi here is saying that Mysterio is an example. It is cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Something like that. It is
only
cool.
the blinders. That alone is pretty cool.
Yeah. So, for instance, like the Iron Man Mark III would be one of my favorites. It's definitely in the top 10 because I'm like, okay, I love the source material. I love the actor. The figure's actually really good. And it has lots of options to display it. It's got a cool base. So there's all those variables as well that come into play. Yeah, I think it should be. I'm going to try and make an interesting video out of it and challenge some of you to think about if you had to pick 10, your 10 favorite. It doesn't need to be quality. Just if you had to throw it out right now, what one would you not throw out? What 10 would you not? What one could you just not? And then I think you have to put that up against another one and go, if I had to choose out of these two, which one am I keeping? It's just a different way of doing it. It's not the only way or the be all and end all, but it is a way.
It is a way.
It is a way. Anyway, I'm going to be working on that this week.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah,
I'm going to go to bed.
Nah, stay up. Don't go to sleep.
Be a rebel.
Often I'm trying. Let's stay up. Let's do some poses. What else can we do? Let's do some photography. Let's really go deep, Anthony. Let's go deep. Let's do our top 10 right now. Get them out. What? See, Lakagi? Yeah, I can't imagine how hard it would be for you to pick Iron Man 1. Well, I could do a top 10 of just Iron Man. I get it. I just have my top 10 Iron Man. So that's the challenge.
Even that would be hard, dude.
Yes. Yeah, it would.
Okay, anyway.
Dude. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. We were on one today. So I hope you enjoyed. We'll be back next week to do episode 4, Last of Us, and episode 7, 8, 9 of Andor.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. Damn. Okay.
Damn.
Thanks, guys. Peace out. We'll speak to you soon. Rent, I can't be taking something up 7. Cool. Well, then you win. It's the easiest one for you, Renz. Boom. All of them. I love that. Now, actually, that's a great idea. Anthony, get the goddamn camera out. Let's go. We're holding you ransom.
That would be cool, though. Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. Peace out. Playing the outro. Got a special one for you. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that's hot.